I'm Max Livingood, fleet manager at Polset Equipment. I wanted to walk through how to use our retriever truck and how to load and unload our track machine. So, to walk through the basics on the truck, your key on's down here. Once it goes through the startup procedure, you turn the key and you start the truck. Your lights are located here. You have a speed control. Your caution lights are right here. It's an automatic transmission, so you have drive, neutral, reverse, and your two gear control if you're on a hill or something. You have mirror heat, engine brake, high and low. And then this is to drop your suspension when you're unloading it. When you go to unload it, you want to undo all your chains first and then drop the suspension so that the chains aren't holding the bed up. You have your tag axles here. They need to be up when you're unloading it and down when you're on the road. When they're down, you should have about 55 to 60 PSI on both of them. And then you have your wheel axle locks for the rear axle, the front one, and then to lock them together if you're pulling off-road or something. So now I'm going to take you back and show you how to unload it. First, you drop the suspension. So you come around here, you'll take your 5 chains off. You come around the back of the machine. And you have 2 locks on the back, here and on the other side. You flip them down to unlock. And you come around to the side to your control box. Here, you can drop the tailgate. And when the tailgate comes down, there's a third lock here. Just push down. And then you flip this lever and it'll do the second stage of the tailgate. Once that's down, you go to these 2 switches, you raise the bed up and hit the unlock. When your 2 arms kick out, you can drop the bed. It's important to note our bed needs to be on level ground. If it's not sitting on level ground with the 2 feet, the bed can twist and warp and you won't be able to close it properly. So we try to keep it on as level as we can. We try to back straight up off a road so that it can sit down, or if you crib it, to just try to keep it as level as possible. So once your bed's down and your suspension's down, you can start your machine on the remote. So you key on, you stop out and sync it. Once it's sunk, you just drive straight off. Driving off, you'll kind of have to feather the controls a little bit to keep it going straight. Typically, you'll want to put it in low track speed, low proportional speed, and the engine throttle in medium. This will keep it from stalling, and it'll give it a nice speed driving off. When you go to drive it back on, I usually line up on the bed I try to keep the machine as straight as possible. You don't want to have to correct too much when it's driving up the bed, because the tracks being on the ground and the bed will put a lot of leverage on the bed and end up twisting it. So I usually stand on the bed and I back straight up. So once it gets pretty close, I hop off the bed. You have your wheel chocks here. They should be sitting in the position where it says digger. You pull straight back onto these wheel chocks. Once it's there, we usually leave the machine running. It needs about 5 minutes to cool down. So you'll come to the back, you'll put the bed up. So putting the bed up is just the opposite of putting it down. You raise the bed, and then once it reaches the appropriate height, you lock your arms back in. You need to make sure both sides lock. And then once both are in, you drop the bed back down so it rests with the arms locked in. At this point, you want to put the second stage of the tailgate up. Once it folds up, you re-lock it here. With that locked in, you raise the first stage of the tailgate with this lever, and then you're done in the box. And you just have your two locks on the bottom of this once it's up. But once that raises, you just lock the two. When we chain it down, we put one on the back from the pintle hitch to the bed, and then one on each side around the outrigger to about here on the bed. It's about 2 or 3 spaces back. Then you come around to the front. We use our binders. One side in the bed, the other side we'll go around a chain off the D-ring like this, and we just tighten down like this against the bed. You'll want to make sure you put your suspension back up in the cab. And then you'll tighten all your chains down because the bed will raise up a bit. It's important to note if you're just loading in between jobs, or if you can't get the tracks all the way clear, there are track covers in the box here. You can see right here. You can put these all the way over the tracks. There's 2 ratchet straps. You just run down the middle of the track, and you can hook on back here. Ratchet strap, and then there's bungees. You can tighten the track covers down the rest of the way in case you're moving somewhere muddy and can't get your tracks all the way clear, or if you're moving just a little bit down the road, you can keep it from a lot of dirt coming off. But that's how you safely load and unload our track machines on our retriever truck.